Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D White bringing you yet another YouTube video at this time. So basically what we're going to be discussing today is Mayakashi got a new support card and in the form of a continuous trap. So let's basically get into it, keeping it short and sweet of course. So the card we're going to be discussing is Mayakashi Mayhem and it has 4 different effects. So let's read this out. If a zombie synchro monster is a special summon except from the extra deck, even during a damage step, you can apply one of the following effects. You cannot apply the same effect of Mayakashi Mayhem for the rest of this turn. Draw 1 card, set 1 Mayakashi spell or trap directly from the deck, except another copy of itself. Send 1 monster with the lowest attack your opponent controls to the graveyard, your choice if tied, and inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So, pretty much simple effects, but it's the restrictions on the card that kind of, really hurt the card's playability in general. So, first restriction, except from the extra deck. So, what's worse than it being a trap, you have to wait for your opponent's turn in order to get any real value out of this. So, your opponent has to start dealing with your monsters, and, if you're, you have ways, you have Mayakashi's Metamorphosis, you have cards like Call It Haunted and, stuff like that to be able to interact on your opponent's turn to trigger these effects, depending on which one you want at the time. But of course, if you're relying on your opponent at the time and don't have those resources available, opponent can have multiple ways of dealing with your monsters without destroying them. They could just flat out send them to the graveyard, they can banish them, they can bounce them back to the extra deck, stuff like that. And those ways are very much in abundance. Destruction thing is pretty passe if you want to put a thing on that. Destruction, being immune to destruction doesn't even matter anymore basically. So that being said, that hurts the playability of the card as well. And also the second effect that sends 1 monster with the lowest attack your opponent controls to the graveyard. I didn't understand why the lowest attack thing should really matter. Should just be a face-up monster, period. It shouldn't even matter whether it's the lowest attack or not. It's not like it's going to make it broken or anything. Sending monsters to the graveyard, without triggering destruction, it's not even relevant. So, if Konami felt the need to put the lowest attack clause on there for whatever reason. So, let's talk about the other effects. Drawing 1 card is good. Being able to, dig deep through your deck to get combo pieces and, your spells and traps to do whatever it is you need to do. Setting 1 Mayakashi spell or trap is also really good. Being able to set Mayakashi Return, you can set Winter, you can set Ghost Meets Girl or Mayakashi Story, and you can set Mayakashi Metamorphosis off this effect, during your opponent's turn when you're doing stuff. So, being able to set the Mayakashi Metamorphosis is not too bad, but since it's your opponent's turn, then when your turn comes around, obviously this card will be active so that you're able to, trigger off other effects during that, during your turn. So, being able to inflict 800 damage to your opponent, if your opponent's low in life points, of course, and especially summon the zombie synchro, inflict 800, you can, inflict game for that. So it's interesting card. It most certainly could have been better, of course, if, no, except for the extra deck and no lowest attack. I believe that would increase the card's playability a lot. Even making it even worth searching off of Mayakashi Return. So it's mediocre, of course. The whole Mayakashi deck in itself is just a big ball of mediocrity. So yeah, whatever you guys think in the comments, let me know. Of course, we'll definitely have a chat on the card and, share your thoughts, of course, and I'll be talking to you guys, alright? So with that said, I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more videos in the meantime. But until then, peace. YouTube.